This video demonstrates the normal map editor in ShaderMap 3. I'm going to select a normal map in the project grid and click the N button, and that will send the normal map to the normal editor. There are a number of tools in the normal editor. This is the transform tool and the select tool. I can Control C, Control V, copy and paste. The displacement brush has a number of different brushes that are simply grayscale images. You can add additional brush shapes down here to the standard library. The displacement brush paints to displacement layers. I can add a displacement layer down here and then paint displacement, which is then immediately converted to normals. You can control the intensity of the normals. I can select the transform tool and modify the pixels, rotate and scale. And then double click on the pixels or select accept up here to have them converted to normals again. You can control the shape across the surface of any displacement brush using this curve. Show you a couple different examples. And some radical example. All right, I'm going to delete this layer and move on to the next tool, which is the normal brush. The normal brush is a great way to paint with 3D model normals or normals from a tangent space normal map. All right, I'm going to load in a 3D model to use as a stamp. You can rotate it to the position that you want for painting and then accept. And you can change that anytime by double clicking the brush. And then we're going to create a normals layer, rasterized normals layer. I can paint with the normal brush. And these can be transformed as well. Hold Shift to maintain the aspect ratio. The next tool is the vector brush. And this allows us to paint direction. You can see the sphere over here. And I can choose a direction to paint onto the normal map. And it has a series of different brush shapes. And you can add additional brush shapes with a PNG file that is grayscale. I'm going to add another rasterized layer and start painting on our normal map. And if you press E on your keyboard, and you can see where we've painted and how light affects the map. Choose a different direction and start painting again. We can add shapes of type line, oval, rectangle, and polygon that can either be filled or lines. I'm going to draw a line here. And click accept. what you can see is a flat normal shape. And there's a layer for it created over here. To give it surface, double click on the layer, and this will bring up the layer profile. And shapes have two different settings, surface and pattern. And you can select surface to define the shape of the surface. And you can also select pattern to load in a displacement map to tile across the surface. I'm just going to use the floor texture that we're currently using for our project. And I'm going to decrease the amount of opacity on the pattern so that it blends with the surface below it. We can select the Shape Edit tool to grab and move any of the points in an existing shape. And then just click off the shape to accept the changes, and the normals are re-rendered. The last tool is the eraser brush, and this is just simply to remove pixels from either a displacement layer or a rasterized normal layer. Once we're done making changes in the normal editor, go down to the bottom right here and select Return to the Project Interface. And you'll see that the normal map is locked. Now in ShaderMap 2, unlocking a map after it had been to the normal editor would cause all of the changes you've made in the normal editor to be deleted. This is no longer the case with ShaderMap 3. You can unlock the map and make adjustments to the base layer, and all of our drawing in the normal editor will stay in place. And we can also return to the normal editor and modify the layers again at any time. It's automatically locked after it comes out of the normal editor, but this can be changed by going to Options, selecting Normal Editor, and then unchecking Auto Lock Map on Edit. Now when we go into the normal editor and make changes, it is not locked after leaving. To learn more about how to use the normal editor, visit the documentation page at shadermap.com/docs.